Disney just fired a huge number of Marvel employees, many of them from the movie production pipeline. Seems strange, given that one of the biggest MCU films ever is coming out this December. So, what if we told you, we think we know why so many Kevin Feige employees just grabbed a pink slip? And it all has to do with an Avengers Doomsday price tag that is spelling doom for Disney. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel that keeps you ahead of the culture curve. Explaining entertainment is what we do with a zeal that even the Hollyweirds can feel. Are you stuck, folks, online in a timeline of doom and gloom? Have the doomers taken over everything you see on social media? Well, that's not happening here because you're winning. Project Hail Mary? Yes, please. Mario, you betcha. Did you just see the stuff for Godzilla Minus Zero? Go, what a hero for the box office. We love it. Hollywood is being shaken to its core, and Marvel is right there in the middle of it because, why? They decided to abandon the storytelling that you love in favor of propaganda and all kinds of stuff that has destroyed them. The market has spoken, and folks, I'm here to tell you, don't be dismayed. Don't let people tell you that the world is all gray. Things are going in a good direction. They will, I promise. Stay on the sunny side. But if you're one of these Disney employees laid off, it's going to be a hard time for you. We take no joy in reporting this, but Disney, according to thatparkplace.com, just laid off a Marvel workforce number that is decimating what's happening there. What's strange about that, of course, is Disney is laying them off right before the big CinemaCon announcement tomorrow about Marvel, if you're watching this video at the time of release. So why would they do this? Why would they eliminate so many jobs and rain on the parade of RDJ before he takes the stage, Kevin Feige? This is going to create an awkward situation, right? A message is being sent from Josh D'Amaro, CEO of Disney. Get your house in order. I'll explain why. From that park place, Disney's latest wave of cuts is sending shockwaves through Hollywood, but nowhere are these layoffs being felt more deeply than inside Marvel. As part of a sweeping corporate shakeup eliminating roughly 1,000 jobs, the layoffs have hit multiple Marvel divisions at once, cutting into the very infrastructure that once powered the studio's unprecedented run of box office dominance. According to reporting from The Wrap, layoffs have impacted Marvel employees in both Burbank and New York, stretching across film and TV, production, comics, franchise operations, finance, and legal. Josh D'Amaro, new CEO of Disney, has had enough. Will Lucasfilm face his wrath very soon? Hang tight, folks. We'll get to that too. But here we go. Out of that park place, here's why they are letting so many go. This is why they have to cut down to the marrow. And I mean it. The marrow of Marvel has been exposed. And it's winning for you. It's a loss for these people. And again, we take no joy in anybody losing their jobs. But folks, what is happening here is a market correction. What is happening here is a drastic market correction. Marvel, under Kevin Feige, decided to change the game. They went with this mantle swap situation where they said, well, we'll just change these characters. Who they are really doesn't matter. It's just the iconography of the costume, right? We can swap them. We can gender swap them. We can race swap them. We can religion swap them. We can do all this stuff. We can swap. And people will eat up the slop. They don't care. Our viewers are not that discerning. And the truth turns out to be the opposite. And now, with this report, a $700 million total spend for this movie. Can I tell you, I think it might be higher. And I'll explain why. And why this could be an instant flop. An instant flop for Avengers Doomsday. Oh, this is going to create some dismay at Disney. Disney's reported Avengers Doomsday budget is already causing discussion around Hollywood, and not in a good way. According to comments made by John Campia, glad he didn't make him buy his pool this time. The next major Marvel team-up film could carry a staggering price tag that is. One that may put unprecedented pressure on Marvel Studios and its parent company, the Walt Disney Company, to deliver a historic box office performance. You can hear Campia's comments in the player below. You know what? Let's play it. Let's see. Campia, what did you say? What have you done this time, John?
When we talk about the Disney panel, or maybe on another episode of the John Campia Show, but the word is that Doomsday's budget is around $400 million, which makes it one of, if not the most expensive film ever made.
It's got to be more than that.
I don't think it is.
It's more than that.
But right around there. But I heard, a little birdie told me.
I hope it's not a sparrow.
You guys will remember that Avengers Endgame was the first movie ever to spend $200 million on a marketing campaign.
Check, that's correct.
Which was unheard of at the time. I've heard their marketing budget for Doomsday is just a little north of $300 million.
Checking for inflation. Checking for inflation. Yep, that checks out. I would say that it's probably 33% more expensive to advertise today than it was pre-pandemic in-game. Yep, I'm going to go with that. I actually think that they're probably buying the same number of ads. Absolutely. So this is not a far stretch. This is probably true. If they spent $200 million on marketing for in-game pre-pandemic, and now post-pandemic, they're trying to do the same thing for Doomsday, the same number of ads, $300 million? You bet. You all are paying the same difference at the grocery store, just not at that scale, right? Your apples went from $2 to $3, right? I don't know how many apples that'll buy you, but $2 to $3. You all know that. Same thing in advertising. A little bit more, John.
Now, here's where it's interesting. If Doomsday is about a $400 million budget, and if they are spending about $300 million on marketing, Doomsday will be the first film in history that will need to join the $1 billion club in order to break even.
All right. Now, I appreciate the analysis, and I don't want to push back too hard. We've been rough with John Campea before, and sometimes we make some jokes, and I don't want to be mean, okay? Everybody, we got to start getting along better with people. I mean it, okay? And John Campea, you may be saying, screw you, bro, he's a loser. No, listen, there's got to be a way for us to be civil, and there's too many people out there online right now being so uncivil, these doomers, writing gloomers, and just destroyers and purveyors of absolute destruction. Nope, we're going to try to be civil, okay? So go John Campea, go. But I do want to do some pushback, gentle pushback, and Campea is welcome to come on the channel anytime. I'd be happy to go on his channel if necessary, but I think there have been other films that had to have that. The most recent was Avatar, right? I think we all know that. Avatar had to have $1 billion to break even. And I think that there have been some other films that had to make $1 billion. I don't want to get into it right now. In-game may have needed $1 billion to break even, honestly. But this one, remember, the budget is specified at $400 million. That's not the spend. Right? That's not the spend. So if they exceed the budget, we go even higher. But a $700 million bet, and I think this is the lowest it can be. Keep that in mind. This is the lowest it can be. A $700 million budget for marketing and for production. And by the way, congratulations to Valiant Renegade, who has forced these people, not just Campea, but everybody. Valiant Renegade has forced the industry to now report the marketing spend as part of this. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wanted to do it. Valiant Renegade has forced this upon them. They must report accurately now the marketing spend included in this. If it's $700 million at a baseline, this thing has to make $1.4 billion at the box office to break even, and you all know why. Because Disney only gets half of this back. Theaters get a cut, Uncle Sam gets a cut. The international market taxes get a cut, and Disney gets about half back. Now you can say, well, in the US, they get more, blah, blah, blah. Listen, in China, they get 20%. So let's just be kind and say they need 50% back as a round number. I think it's accurate. So they need $1.4 billion to break even. That isn't to get a return on investment. That's not a success. That's to break even. And can they do it? Well, I have my doubts. And the reason that I have my doubts is because of 2025 for Marvel. The Fantastic Four, not so great. What about the years before? Well, Thunderbolts didn't do so well. If you look at the prior Marvel movies, what do we see? Outside of Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Deadpool, they've struggle bust. And why? Because they crushed themselves on Disney+. And the excuse that Bob Iger and the others have given is, well, you see, we just produced too much Marvel. No, you didn't. You switched the formula. You gave us the new Coke version of the MCU, and you just decided people would swallow it up and they would love it because you are magic, and everything you touch has the Midas Marvel touch. And it turns out, not so much. And now you're facing a very dire situation. Folks, if we look at what's happening here, the reason for the cuts, the reason for the pink slips, the reason for the layoffs at Marvel has everything to do with the idea that they are overspending in ways that is freaking out the C-suite at Disney. Now, Dana Walden and Alan Bergman, they oversee the film, but Josh D'Amaro gets the final word. And Josh D'Amaro, who is not cutting any jobs at theme parks, is looking at this. And I guarantee you Lucasfilm is next up on the docket, and he's going to rock them, okay? But Marvel is first up. And even before they take the stage, this is a message being sent by the new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. This is a message sent to them the day before they walk out on that stage at CinemaCon, with him saying to them, fix it. Fix it now. Things are not on the sunny side for you. You get this resolved now. And Kevin Feige, I'll guarantee you, is also in hot water, in the hot seat. Because ultimately, folks, and this is why we do what we do every day here. This is why we cover this stuff, because it matters, because the stories we believe in, the ethos that we accept into our lives, the heroes that we aspire to be, they matter. And Disney had decided to invert those heroes, change them up, give you substitutes, and ignore the decades of buildup of people already having decided over the generations, I love that Iron Man guy. I love that Captain America guy. I love that Spider-Man guy, and here's why. And Disney decided, no, we can swap these out for our DEI woke agenda. This was under Bob Iger. This is under Kevin Feige. This is under Kathleen Kennedy, who imported it from Lucasfilm to them. They decided we can change everything. We can change the morals. We can change the goals. We can change all of this. And then we'll inject it into the brains of the kids, and we'll change the way they see the world around them. But it turns out that's not true. And it turns out, kudos to you, because you rejected that. And you said, no, we want our heroes to be heroic. We want them to earn it. We don't care if the hero is white, black, brown, blue, green, whatever. We want their character to matter. And we want their character arc to matter. And we don't want Mary Sue characters who come in and the world changes in front of them to accept them for who they are. No! And kudos to you folks, because you're the ones who did this. I don't know that it was a psychological decision that you made overtly, or we made overtly. It was something subconscious, something that strikes deep down inside of us, where we watch these films and we said to ourselves, it doesn't feel right. What was that? It doesn't feel right. It was the subconscious inside of us. It was the substrate at the foundation of our psyche, looking at this and saying, I don't aspire to be like these that they call heroes, and I do not. That is what destroyed Marvel. That's what destroyed Star Wars. And now the ramifications are here. We take no joy in these jobs being cut. We take no happiness in the idea that people are now without jobs, but we do recognize that something is happening, and we take into account these reports are happening and these firings are happening the day before they take the stage at CinemaCon, and all of the luster and all of the glitter and all of the glamour of what they were planning to do has been stripped away to some degree now, because it's reframed. And it was reframed on purpose by the leadership at Disney because they want their attention. The Blue Lobster caviar is coming to an end. The mindless, ceaseless spending of tons of money is over. I'm not here to tell you that Josh tomorrow is the greatest CEO ever and that he's got it all together. I don't know what this guy is up to, but I do know this. He is making sure that Marvel understands they've missed, and they've missed badly. And the job cuts coming from them right now is part of a broader message inside Disney to say, fix it. Fix it now. Lucasfilm, somehow you were spared this time, but I got a feeling in the months ahead, especially if Mando fails, they're coming for you too, because they can't afford to lose hundreds of millions of dollars on this. And that's how much they're losing when they're betting $1.4 billion as the break even. Given the performance of prior Marvel movies now, folks, I'm here to tell you, this may be an insta-flop. There's a chance that they pull this off. It's got to be a great movie. It's got to be an unbelievably great movie to beat that $1.4 billion and go beyond and earn the return on investment. If that doesn't happen, though, if this is not a great movie, it's an instant flop at the box office. Average won't do it anymore. And the reason is, what Marvel and Kevin Feige enjoyed in prior years was that automatic goodwill that they had built up over decades, and perhaps because of Ike Perlmutter. We won't get into that right now, but they fired him ceremoniously to let him know they didn't agree with him. Turns out he was right. But they built up goodwill and narratives for a decade. And now they don't have that anymore. The goodwill is gone. They've got to prove themselves. And if they don't prove themselves with an awesome movie, a flop is on the way. Hundreds of millions of dollars on the line for the mouse. And Josh tomorrow cutting Marvel to the marrow over all of it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's good news for you. Stories do matter. AI is on the way. And I'm not here to tell you that AI is good or great or bad or any of that kind of stuff, but I'm here to say that it's going to equalize the field, and all of those big boom booms and explosions on the screens doesn't matter a thing compared to the story. Disney knows it. The others know it. You know it now. And somehow we're about to change the game forever when it comes to entertainment. Thanks for empowering it. Just watching this video, it does just that. You can do even more, though. Click that like button. Drop a comment down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, we're working hard every day for you. Now going on almost 4 years of nonstop coverage. Why? Because it matters. It's who our kids will look up to. It's the stories they will absorb. And we're fighting every day for the culture, for the ethos, for where we set our aim against the grain of social media and the online discourse, which has become so coarse and so negative and depressed. We, folks, though, you and I will never go there because we're winning every day. Until the next time, we have the honor, the privilege, and the responsibility of spending time together. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.